I was an addict for 10 years and had no hope. I didn't think I could beat it. I was so deep into it. Of course I was homeless. I just didn't think I could overcome it. I thought I would die from addiction. And so did everybody around me.
The doctors told me my baby would suffocate the moment she was born. When we first got the news, we were just in shock. I just remember kind of like a numb feeling kind of went over me, that everything we were prepared for and everything we had envisioned her life to be just it was like time froze.
The doctors told me I'd eventually need a heart transplant. I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, and that consists of many open heart surgeries and maybe even heart transplant. It was a big mess, and I didn't really know what to think. I was definitely terrified. It was a lot to take in.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. God works in mysterious ways. I had a kidney disease that debilitated me so much that I ended up with shingles, pneumonia, and a fungal infection in my lungs. I couldn't walk. I couldn't even open a gallon of milk. They did an x-ray of my lungs, which I wouldn't have had done, and it determined I had lung cancer. Otherwise, the silent killer would have probably silently killed me.
I was in and out of treatments for a long time. Then I got that dreaded call one day that my daughter was found in her car dead from an overdose. I actually left treatment and relapsed. Several more years I ran. God has changed my heart. I always try to do it my way, and finally I let God do it His way. And He's renewed me, given me faith. And I know all I got to do today is just keep surrendering on a daily basis, and He will keep carrying me.
It was months of sleepless nights and praying like I've never prayed before. Like praying on hands and knees, just begging God. And just hoping that He was going to choose to heal her. At 36 weeks, I was just sleeping. It was a normal night, and God woke me up in the middle of the night. I just felt so clearly Him say to me, "She's fine. I've taken care of it. She is healed. There's nothing wrong with her." 2 days later, we went in for the ultrasound. They couldn't find any damage. They told me not to get too excited. It was probably just the angle. The next week, they said the same thing. And a few days later, she was born and perfectly healthy. Not a thing wrong with her, healthy little baby girl.
Going into the MRI, I was very nervous. It was supposed to be just about 30 minutes, and then sitting there for about an hour, I was praying the whole time, like scared for my life. And then I feel somebody kind of hold my leg and touch me, and I was like, "Who is this?" And you'd expect it to be kind of a fear thing, but it was very peaceful. And I just heard God saying that you'll be all right. You'll be okay. I'm going to heal you. And then got the results, and the results said that it was all gone. Everything was back to normal, perfect.
I was told to get my affairs in order, and because I was so weak from the kidney disease and the fungal infection in my lungs, I couldn't be treated for cancer. But God had something else in mind. My wife said, "Guy, after a couple months, go get a blood test. Let's see how you are. You haven't had a blood test or been treated for anything because you're too weak." We did. My blood test numbers were fantastic, and I got a call from a doctor who had said I had no hope, and now said, quote, I'll never forget it, "back in the game." And God did all of that because they can't explain it, because that kidney infection that could have killed me in and of itself went away. To this day, the doctors say a higher power must have been involved because medical science couldn't explain it. At that point, I had hundreds of people praying for me in this church and elsewhere, and prayer works, folks. The mystery turned out to be a blessing that I could end up being treated. It was a miracle to me.
7 months ago, I lost my second daughter to addiction. And this time, I ran to God instead of relapsing and going back to addiction myself. And I made it through it, and I'm here today. You know, after losing both my children, I should have been crushed, I should have been dead, I should have done whatever it took for me to leave this world. But God seen it that I should be here. That's a miracle. That's a miracle.
You see all these stories of people being healed, and you never really think that something like that would happen to you until it really does happen. And then it's really an eye-opener. Shows you how real it is. He really did this. He healed me. It was incredible.
It gave me a faith that was so far beyond what I had before. It increased my faith, and it increased my expectation of what God could do. And I pray more expectantly now, not believing that God is just going to do whatever I want, because He is sovereign and He is God. But I know, I've seen miracles with my eyes. So I know that He can do it. And I know that He can do amazing things that I think sometimes we're too afraid to ask for. And I'm just not afraid to ask for the impossible.